Welcome, Shelbi Haering.
Hi.
Good to have you.
Me. I know, I'm excited. This is already fun.
Yeah, we're kicking off. We're gonna have a lot of fun here. Let's do some quick introductions though. When we blast this out, and not everyone knows Shelbi Haering. Give us the elevator speech. Who's Shelbi Haering?
Who is Shelbi Haering? That's a good one. On that. I have been doing real estate, representing sellers and buyers for 10 years now, in the Flagstaff area. Williams, Parks, Flag. I cover a big range, and I love what I do. I've been doing it since I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
28 now.
So, and actually, we didn't talk about this. Did you had family in the business? Is that how that kind of worked out?
Not really.
Not really. Okay.
Not really.
So did you have family in the business or no?
So sort of, kinda. My aunt, who's not blood related, was in the business, right?
Okay.
And whether it was summer jobs or parents are like, you guys are driving us nuts, she'd ship me off to my aunt, who I love to death, who inspired me to get into this.
Yeah.
And so I absolutely call her my family. So I would say yes, but I guess technically no. And
yeah.
She inspired me. She's still in the industry and everyone respects her. And
that's awesome.
She plays good in the sandbox and she works through deals. And I like the way she's done things. So kudos to her if she's even listening, which I'll make her listen.
Yeah. And I almost, my opinion there is pretty much you got two paths down that, right? A lot of people like our career in real estate, like we were just talking, it can be a tough business. Right? When a lot of people are thinking bigger cycles of like, hey, we're at Gore, we're going to work on this product and it maybe never launches, but we all keep our jobs, right?
Totally.
And where it's like, no, you and I don't have a job or an income if this 30-day cycle thing doesn't work out. Like it's not for the faint of heart.
Right.
And so people either end up, and it's really awesome to see that the longer I've been in the business is some people really end up like just being that heart of gold type of person, someone of abundance, someone that shares and brings other people, inspires other people in this, or they go like the jaded misers, right. And it's like, it doesn't end well.
Yeah, and it generally doesn't when you've got that mentality, because you either like live and breathe this career, or, I mean, I guess you can do it on the side. I hear that from time to time, but that always has scared me. And don't get me wrong, when I very first started, I was working 4 different jobs, right? I can remember way back when, working 4 jobs, just try to make this a possibility for my life.
Sure.
But when you live and breathe it, it kind of creates its own momentum when you're still talking about it at the dinner table, and everybody has different views on that. But like, my world revolves around this career. And even the people that I've surrounded myself with have found value in that, right? Like, we sit down, my boyfriend and I are still talking about real estate because we enjoy it. Yeah. It isn't like, oh, we're bringing work into the home place, right? There's a difference. Wouldn't you agree? It's not your attitude behind it.
I make jokes, though, that it's like a bad addiction.
It is a bad addiction.
And there is like no rehab. I make jokes with clients all the time on that, of like so I had some clients that got into like their first investment property last week. And I called them up to follow up, and I was like, good luck. There's no rehab that I found.
No kidding.
That's, it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a good addiction. There are worse.
It's addicting to even watch people change their lives because of something that you have even had a small impact in.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, the last time I saw you, your kids were, table high, and now they're grown, and you're selling, and you're using that to buy them a rental. Sure. And, my phone's going to be going off this whole podcast.
Oh, is that yours?
Yeah.
Oh,
I should have muted it.
No worries. We'll mute it real quick. Or hand it to you. You're fine. Like, hold on to that. No. And like you said, just because it's such a cool thing in seeing like life and wealth building and all these different things in real estate. Summing that all up.
Summing that all up.
So we have an exciting. So there's much more to Shelbi Haering, but that's the brief.
I'll leave it at the skinny. But
we'll dive in here and get your life experiences. We thought it would be one of the things that we're seeing right now. Are comparisons. We are, by human nature, we are people of comparison.
Sure.
Right? And a lot of people like to compare, and whether it's, but it can be disingenuous sometimes, right?
Yeah, it can be good
And
and bad.
just like, you know, if it's a matter of like, if my daughter wants to grow up and compare herself to what she sees on social media or Instagram, you know, it's like, hey, there's a built-in,
right?
There's a built-in where you're not going to win that,
Yeah,
right?
I think about that all the time. That's not the way to do things. Yeah.
No, and so I don't know. That's a great example. But going into in real estate, people are comparing a lot of things, and they're like, oh my gosh, these interest rates are super high. And then on one hand, you're like, well, yeah, they were 2.5%, and that comparably is really high. But then people go like, well, back in the 80s, they were 18%.
Right.
And so we're making these comparisons that aren't exactly fair, right? And because you have to see the whole context of the picture.
Yeah, we're
right?
in a whole different world now in so
Yes.
many different ways. Like compare gas prices, compare minimum wage, compare. I mean,
Well, and I even think you and I, oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh, no. Compare everything, and it's apples to oranges. So you've got to compare your oranges.
And you and I were even talking about Williams, right? Is a market that you know very, very well. And and even saying, hey, Williams used to kind of be this like redheaded stepchild to Flagstaff, but like, oh, Williams is on the map, and they are demanding some pretty hefty price per square foot right now.
I think we were overlooked, for a long time, which is fantastic for those who have, decided to invest when they did.
Yeah.
And that's, pre-COVID, interest rates being so low, right? And now we're seeing a lot of people obviously taking advantage of that, differences. And I don't know where we're going to go next, but I don't really see us going anywhere because we're kind of on the map. There's so many things that drive us to our markets, right? And they're not all interest rate based, right? They're not all.
Well,
yeah.
And that's what I think people have to understand. We also have like markets within markets, right?
Totally.
Of like, hey, during certain conditions, like easy one here is like, all right, during certain political situations happening, we had Californians moving to Arizona.
Oh,
Californians were then being artificial demand in Flagstaff and buying up homes.
Yeah.
And that makes Flagstaff more desirable. In certain parts of California where they're moving out of,
right?
You'd say potentially that's, but it's California, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a matter of then I think like you're saying we're getting more and more on the map, and so there's this. Not only is there the general economy of the United States of America, but like Flagstaff is just growing as a town, and in northern Arizona and Williams and all these areas are just kicking up with that.
Absolutely.
So to lead into then our game here is that we wanted to play a little bit of Jeopardy. Let's show the board, Cole. Show the board here. So we have our version of Jeopardy of us being able to talk about some comparisons. So we have the category 1 is first world problems, which is then going to be talking about costs in that arena. Basics are then more of the life basics on price changes and cost there. The rent is too damn high is our third category.
Right to the point.
Do some rental. Did you ever see that New York governor's race?
I don't think so.
No, there's this dude that was like, he was running on the rent is too damn high in New York. And he was this African-American man with white gloves and with a suit. And that's what he'd basically get up. And every point, like they're like, what do you think about abortion? He's like, well, the rent is too damn high. Like that was his only talking point. You're like,
if I'm going to deflect in any way, that's my go-to.
He's like, I'm coming back here. He was the one chat politician.
I don't want to talk about this. The rent is too high.
Yeah. But he somehow like related things, I think like somewhat back. Like he'd do like one tie-in segue and then start talking about rent again.
That's so funny.
What house am I? That's going to be fun. That's a little surprise for me how we changed it one. And then dollar bills, y'all, is talking about income. Income is also changing. Right? So Let's get into it.
And then we've got the bobblehead.
Yes. So instead of a buzzer, we're going to fight over the bobblehead, which was, thank you, Kyle and Haley, for the bobblehead. Hope I don't
break it. I'm like too competitive.
Seems pretty resilient. So I will, we're going to test this one out. So I think, ladies pick here. Which one do you want first?
Okay. Rent is too damn high for 100. I want to say it just like Jeopardy.
All right. The average rent for a 3-bedroom apartment in Flagstaff in 2009 was $1,343. What is it in 2023? So you can grab the ball head as soon as you want to guess. I'm going to go ahead and beat you to it because I'm competitive. I'm going to go with C. 3-bedroom apartment. Oh, I said wrong though. I got to go with that 3-bedroom. So I went too fast and didn't read back. It's wrong. B. It's got to be wrong, right?
I would say B. If not,
you would say B. Okay,
but
let's see. If you go for the steal, do I just click again?
The slow and steady turtle always wins the race.
28. Which one did you say?
I said B. That was my first option.
There you go. 3-bedroom, and I missed the 3-bedroom. Even though I read it. So 70% increase from 2009. What are your thoughts on that, Shelby?
70%. I guess I'm really not surprised. Like I said, I mean, we're on the map in a way that I don't think that we were before. So how is that going to change anytime soon? But I'm not surprised because I've definitely seen that in my career, doing it as long as I have.
Yeah, I guess the other factor that kind of blows my mind, it's a little anecdotal that I share this with people, because in that time frame, so actually I moved to Flagstaff in 2009, and the building that we're in.
And what rent were you paying then?
Oh, we had a really cheap single bedroom, like dealio. We were like $525 in like a ghetto apartment.
Oh man,
single bedroom.
Those are the best ways to start.
Yeah, it was a starter.
Oh yeah,
it was a starter. But where I was going with that is like this building, the standard that we're in, student housing. It's in talking with the management that owns this place. They're like 100% occupancy. This didn't exist. The hub didn't exist. What else do we have? We have several large student housing pieces that have gone in since then, and still rent has gone up. Right. That's what I talk to every investor about, is just saying, hey, like the supply is just not keeping up. They've added it. I mean, I remember being at a realtor association meeting probably like 5-6 years ago as they were starting to build these. And they're like, there's 6,000 units slotted for Flagstaff between all these big housing projects. And so there's 6,000 apartments in here, right?
Really?
Or between here and the hub and all these other student developments that they were doing. Sure. So it's like primarily it was condos, but they were building a bunch of these all at the same time.
Right.
And still the rents are going up.
Yeah. And they're still full.
So yeah.
Way to go. I'd rather I'm a little biased, right? Being in real estate, wanting to see consistency in it.
Well, not down.
In this area, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's telling. Okay. And so point Shelby. Oh, let's see. Okay.
I don't even know if that's fair to give me a point, because does it go back to you afterward?
Well, now you get to pick the category still. I think that's okay. Jeopardy rules, right? Oh, if I press. Oh.
But I mean, if you grab the bobblehead first and then you answer, do I even get a chance to be like, oh,
yeah,
totally. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so
you
then
can do the steal.
Okay, this is good.
Okay, so you drive. I'll make sure this is right in the middle here. You drive the bus since you won that question. Where are we going next?
Okay, let's go with the basics for 500.
Oh, going big here.
Oh, go big or go home.
In 2023, a Big Mac, fries, and a soda from McDonald's cost $9.89. What did the same thing cost in 1980?
I can hear my dad in the background. Go ahead.
Slow to the.
I am slow.
I'm totally gonna go with $4.87.
Oh, okay.
What do you think?
I was feeling B.
$2.59 in the 1980s.
I'll go with B. That's my final answer.
Okay, let's see. Oh, Shelby wins again.
Yeah.
A 280% increase from 1980 to 2023. That is pretty wild.
That is.
I don't know how much else I had other commentary I have on that. Although we'll give you your points.
I was born in the wrong era.
Well,
I'd rather pay that for a Big Mac.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel differently when I go there after here.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if the product was better too.
Very well could be. Because
they're like, oh, we're gonna juice this thing up now, and
they thought they were getting big
charge more
too. I bet they're like,
it was still beef back then.
Oh, yeah. Oh gosh.
Who knows? All right.
What direction are we going in?
So, Your pick still. I got to get something on the board.
Okay, and I got my points
trailing.
too for it.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go dollar bills, y'all, for 300.
The average salary for a nurse in 2005 was $67,351 annual. What is the current average salary? I have knowledge of this.
2005. I have to like reread it. Okay.
It's got to be C.
What is the current average salary?
Now it's tricky though,
But
because
what area, right? It's like
because there's a
average?
nurse is not a nurse is not a nurse, right?
Right.
And so like head nurses, is that like counting nurse anesthetist?
I feel good about
now
you
I'm
picking
questioning my.
C.
Well, so C was my pick.
Okay, C's gonna be your pick. Then I'll go with A just to offset it.
Like Price is Right. Me, just go right above.
Yeah.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Okay, well, I totally believe you now that you didn't cheat before I got here.
Because I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna like flunk on this to make you feel good about yourself.
That's too funny. You're also giving me a good baseline by your guesses.
So that's what's interesting, okay? So if you are, and this is where I think the dollar bills y'all category is helpful, right? And you and I were talking about this earlier, is that when a lot of folks are thinking, oh, a Big Mac is way more expensive right now. Holy cow, I'm spending about $8 more per Big Mac?
Right.
But you're also $15,000. And that was from 2003 to 1980.
Right.
This is just in the last 20, I can do math, 17 years. It's like in the last 17 years.
Right.
17, 18.
And a 22% increase from 2005 to
you're making 15 more grand than you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that buying a house is never a bad decision. You need to make a strategic decision for your family.
Yeah.
And for your income and for where you've set yourself up for, but it's never a bad thing.
And my mental math is horrible. And so I'm doing a calculator here. That's additional $1,250-ish per month.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right?
Right.
And so again, we have the unicorn years of, behind us here, like 2% interest rates when the government was subsidizing everything to billions and billions of dollars.
I love that analogy.
Unicorn years. To say, okay, the unicorn years are behind us.
I wouldn't bank on those again.
No.
To try to make investments or decisions.
Some things are going to improve rate wise. That's going to normalize. So that's totally coming. But to be able to say that if that person's, well, there you go. If we talk about rent was how much more? About $1,500 more. Like the landlord knows and he's taking it.
Yeah.
Or she. Landlords can be equal opportunity, like stealing your money. Men and women. It's taking your hard-earned money. Yeah. So your landlord's taking it, or you can put it somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, or what are we at? Percentage-wise today, what's the rates at today?
Like mid-high sixes on a 30-year fixed primary.
Mid-high sixes is not terrible.
Yeah, and you compare that, depending, like a lot of folks that we're talking about, of like, okay, when we believe it will get better, and we head into the fours at some points, hopefully within the next like 24 months. Right. That is going to improve your payment by like $800 to $1,000.
Sure. And I would rather own the home than get into a bidding war again. Yeah. If rates do come back down.
Yeah.
Because you're saying they're coming back down. Yep. What comes with that?
Demand.
It's people coming back out of the works that were hiding because they're like not really sure, and I can't blame anyone, Yeah. But I take my own advice, right? Like or at least I try to, and not in every case, but like at least in real estate, I do try to take my own advice, and I'm still investing right now, so it's still working out.
Yep.
I would rather be able to refi than not even get the house that I wanted and pay another $50 because we are on the map. Yeah. So I don't know, not to shove that down anyone's throats because I know a lot of realtors are saying that, but it's like it's true.
No, exactly. And I think there is some reality where I've talked and I respect everyone, and I think that the one thing that I'd encourage people to just be real, right, is if you are making that wage and you want to make Flagstaff work, and you got to be real within the parameters of that. Or if you're making that wage and you're like, hey, Flagstaff is Flagstaff, it's not going anywhere.
Right.
Don't resent it and just sit around and keep renting. Like, figure out your life.
Totally. And again, it's got to be a strategic decision. There's bad decisions even in it. There's good opportunities and bad opportunities, but there's opportunities out there regardless of what the market's doing. Yep. And we're seeing it.
Exactly.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You got.
And there's certainly more opportunity.
Did I give you the points for that one?
You better have. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I gave you the points for that one. All right, you still command the board.
Cool.
No Alex Trebek.
All righty.
Alex Trebek.
Ooh. I'll just answer this. Like, I don't remember what his name is. First world problems for 100. Let's go low.
Give me some chance. So the average price of a one-day admission to Disneyland in 2023 is $179. What was it in 1990? I feel like grabbing the bobblehead first was not in my favor the last couple.
You're like, I already know the answer, but I'm not going to touch it. So in 1990, okay. This sounds so deprived, but my parents didn't take me to Disneyland then. So not that I would have been able to pay at that. I'm going to say, I'm going to go for it.
You're going to go for it? I think I'm going to try a different strategy and let you go for it.
Oh my gosh.
Try and get 100 points to get on the board here.
In 1990, I'm going to say B.
I'm going to go D.
Yeah, I was teetering on D, but I'm going to stick with B.
All right, let's see.
Wow.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Today's my day. I wasn't going to say it was my day earlier, but right now
you have to cheat on these or something.
The day went full circle.
That is pretty wild.
That is.
That's pretty wild. Have they done? I've never been to Disneyland, actually.
It's been a long time for me.
I wonder if they've really added a lot. Like, is there a cost justification? Are the rides better?
Bucks. I'd imagine they would just progressively get safer, which makes me feel like maybe paying a little bit better, right? Checks and balances.
Yeah, sure, it's a safety thing. I would be curious on that. I bet there's a study out there. I'm not as curious that I'm going to actually look this up, but I bet someone's done a conversation of like Disneyland is X amount more expensive. And is it justified because they just put in like Star Wars Land or Harry Potter Land or whatever? Or is it just a matter of the gouging and they can?
The two that you named, are they as popular as back then the Harry Potter and Star Wars?
I would just say the things that my kids are trying to talk me into going to Disneyland with.
So that's still cool. Okay, good.
Yeah. I think with the right age group. So
right.
All right. But and I think there is some reality, not to spend too much time with Shelby and Chris's thoughts on every question. But I in adding to that, I have seen a lot of different things about, we feel it, right? The middle class, all classes, like the middle class is the largest class in the United States. And I believe economically speaking, it really should continue we need to support a strong middle class. Not to get all like political here, but like first world problems, like that's a thing. Like people are traveling less, making less discretionary spends. Like inflation has hurt a lot of people, and it's impacted that housing decision. So I don't know, it's real.
Yeah,
I give validation to it.
Yeah, me too. I'm definitely, you can't live in La La Land.
Yeah,
and
just say, oh, tough it out, buy it, refi later. Like we get it. You're feeling it. All right, you still command the board.
Well, we have to talk about it so much too. I'd rather be real with people than not. So not that like my opinion is so factual, but let's say what house am I for 500?
All right, big for 500, maybe I can get on the board.
I'm rooting for you.
What 90s cult classic movie is this movie featured in? Oh, Father the Bride. Oh, is it Father the Bride?
The one that comes to mind for me is not correct, and I'm not saying it out loud. And I don't even think it's a 90s movie. What popped in my head?
No, it's not Home Alone.
No, it's not Home Alone.
No, I know that one.
I don't think so. No way.
Is it? Do you have a guess?
I don't have a guess that I would say out loud. Mine's
a
more funny that popped in my head.
Cult classic movie. All right. Shelby's kind of ashamed for watching that one. No.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Okay, I would never have gotten that one, even though I love that movie, but I don't remember the house.
We watched that one with my kids, and it's not the most kid-friendly movie.
Really? I'd have to rewatch it again. I thought it was pretty kid-friendly.
They cuss a lot, and then, there's some other things where I was like, oh, didn't really want to have that conversation with my 8-year-old just yet, but I guess we're having that conversation. Okay, I like that one, Cole. Thanks.
That was a tough one.
Wonder what that one would appraise for right now. Probably like $2 million.
Yeah, I wonder what the red is.
All right.
1990.
Okay. I'm going for like don't get skunked. Oh no, did I give you the points? No one got that one.
Yeah,
sorry.
Nobody got that one.
Okay. I was like, no, I'm really burying myself in the hole here. Okay.
Oh, are you being the referee on this? Did I have 1800 before? Okay.
You thought
I'm just keeping you straight.
integrity. That's how we operate here. Okay, so since no one got that, you still command the board.
Okay, wait, and that was what house am I?
Yes.
Okay, that was fun. I was totally stumped, but I'm here to win, so we're gonna get away from those. Okay, I'm gonna do the basics for 300.
Let's see, basics for 300.
Right there.
Pair of Levi jeans in 2023 cost $79.50. What did a pair cost in 1950? D.
I would go with D too, but I guess I'll go with B because there's no D left. Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
I'm on the board.
1950.
I'm on the board.
Got to go with the lowest.
$3.50.
The glory days.
Inflation exists. It's
Totally.
complex.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a lot of things still working out with everything we're seeing. Because I was hearing something on the news where it's like, okay, like, you know, supply chain issues were happening in the supermarkets and they were charging like twice as much for that piece of meat.
Right.
And then the supply chain got better and people were still buying it at twice the cost. Do we really trust that everyone's going to be like ethical about this? And like maybe they go halfway and they're like, well, we're making some profits. So let's just take a couple bucks off of that.
Right. Yeah, we as people have to remember that we force a lot of things too. So not that we can change in a lot of ways in that regard.
Yep.
We're too dependent these days.
I'm going to go, what house am I? 300.
Okay, Ferris Bueller.
Full
House.
Oh.
Come on.
Gosh,
oh, yeah.
dang it. All right.
Good try.
Okay. It was like
you had
on
it
the tip
too.
of my tongue. I saw the people. I saw the people in the house.
You saw the twins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You command the board.
Okay. Let's do what house am I for 100. Let's keep it going. The final.
SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh, no, but you grabbed it. Oh.
That doesn't seem fair. Can we do 50-50?
We'll rock, paper, scissors over it.
Okay, deal. Wait, are you rock, paper, scissors, shoot?
Yes.
Okay.
And sudden death or 2 out of 3?
Let's see how I do. No, I'm just kidding. 2 out of 3.
Yeah, we can't do 2 out of 3. We
only have 45 minutes,
yeah.
right?
Sudden death. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Boom.
Oh,
my
dang.
points.
Should have just taken my points.
Yeah. All right. So I command the board then. Dollar bills, y'all, because I should know income. That is my business for 500.
Yes, I depend on you for that.
There was 5.95 million homes sold in 2022. How many homes were sold in 2005? I am going to say that there were actually 7 million homes. I'm going to go B. I'm going to go that there were more.
That was before the crash, right?
But the sales were actually lower. The overall sales trend.
And which one did you pick?
I picked B.
Okay. Huh.
There were more homes sold. Let's see.
Ooh, good job.
So that's an interesting fact, though, isn't that? Like people were like, "Oh, there's no homes to buy." They're like, no, actually, there was less homes selling than historically. Isn't that kind of interesting? Did I mess with your head a little bit?
I know. Now you're stumping me over here. I'm like gonna take all these numbers and.
Yeah. So more. If you look at the trending, I'll share my slides. We talked about this. I love my slides. If you look at the trending, it's like
I'm seeing you light over.
17,
light up over these.
17, 18, 19. more homes sold in all those years. And then we actually saw less homes sell, but crazy demand and high prices.
Right. And you get caught up in the bidding wars and everything, thinking that there's just so much happening. You don't realize that there was just such a low inventory with it.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like we had the worst that I participated in. We had 29 people go in on one home, and we had sent out pre-quals for 7 of those 29. I was like, hey, I got a good market share and a good chance here. It went for cash, like above ask. So there you go. It's like there's 29 people that want housing that are generating the activity, looking around with realtors, getting pre-qualified, and 1 of 29 own a home, and the other 28 don't.
Right.
So I think that's part of the scarcity, right? That people understand. I think that's if you want to make this market work, you have to understand the scarcity mindset. If there was 5 houses just like that and no one's buying them, then you have some leverage. And you actually might have a little bit of that right now.
Right. You do right now.
You do right now.
That's what I'm saying, to capitalize on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm pushing my clients to capitalize on. And they're going to be successful in the end. Refi, and you got what you wanted.
Yeah.
Are you still going to be looking when things go back down? Probably. Because rent's never a good idea.
So less houses have sold this year so far than last. And again, like you say, with rates go down, are we going to see like more houses selling? I don't know. I think you got it. Like kind of where you're saying is, I think it's like take the advantage of the opportunity where it's at.
Right, exactly. But I don't think that sellers will get on that bandwagon because it'll still have to do a little bit of this, right? Because are they discouraged at that point? You know.
Yeah.
Or they're looking, hey, my neighbor sold because rates came back down and now people are bidding on it and I want the red shiny car that my neighbor got. You know what I mean?
We could see a little more breakup there, right? Yeah. A little less housing like people saying,
or psychology.
I can do a 4% move up. I didn't want to do a 6% move up and get out of my 2.5.
Sure.
You know, that could move up a little
cost.
bit.
Yeah. I could see that too.
Okay. Did I give myself the points already, Cole? I think I did. Double up on that. All right. It's somewhat more of a game though. Okay, I still have a chance though if I do the math right here. So
yeah, and I think it's your turn. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the basics. 100. We'll clean up the bottom of the board here. In 2023, the average cost of a gallon of milk was $4.34. What was it in 1970? Okay, I won't fight you for it.
1970. I'm gonna say B.
Really? You're going to give this one to me? It's got to be A or D. It's got to be totally D.
It's got to be D.
What'd you say?
I said A. I'm just kidding.
Oh, no.
The umpire.
You did B,
here,
right?
Here.
You did B?
I did B.
Okay.
But you're so funny. Oh, man. You were sitting right up on the podium.
I was really confident. Because that's in the 70s. That's got to be 75 cents. $1.35. Dude, the grocery store stinks right now. I was talking at the grocery store.
I can't get any of my bills at the grocery store to go under like $300.
No.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
No. It's like I had that problem at Home Depot where like you can never spend under $100 walking out of Home Depot. And now that's like the grocery store.
You forget it's not you. It's literally overall
and I'm talking
pricing.
like buying one meal.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just going on like, hey, it's like we're just gonna. I went out with my daughter. I was like, we're gonna have some fun. Let's figure out some. My daughter Charlie, my 10-year-old, always wants to make something fun for dessert or something, and so we're like, oh, let's go. We're doing cinnamon roll apple pies.
Delicious.
We're trying those out. It was interesting.
Yeah, I can get on board.
Like just getting the stuff for that, I was like, dude, we're over $100 just for like one little fun meal prep thing.
I know. It's too bad.
I feel the pain.
But we're making it still though.
Yeah. All right. I'll take. Let's see. Yeah, since there was a draw on that one.
So nobody, right?
Let's go. Rent is due down high. 300. Median monthly rent in the United States in 2023 is $1,180. What was the median in 2014? So this is United States.
Oh, okay.
Versus Flagstaff. It's got to be C.
Okay, the median monthly rent in the United States in 2020.
I think that's that rapid.
What was the median in 2014? 2014.
So
Gosh,
9 years ago.
I was in property management then. I would say it's got to be C. Did you pick C?
I did pick C.
Yeah. I think United States average, it would have to be C. I don't even
What's your backup?
I'll say A,
Yeah.
but it doesn't even feel fair because
That's
not even fair.
It's not even fair.
That's not fair.
Yo,
The
man.
average. Well, in our bubble out here, I'd wonder what Flagstaff was at that point. If we had to calculate an average, I can't remember those averages.
No.
Years.
But so there has been a rapid increase.
Yeah.
Just in 5 years. All right, you command the board.
All righty. I wish there was more. What house am I? The rent is too damn high for 500.
All right. National average cost of living for a family of 4 in 2023 is $63,036. What was the cost in 2002? $42,000, $55,000, $65,000, $25,000. National average cost of living.
2002. I'm going to go with
Cost of
A.
living. A?
I'm going to go with A.
There's not really there's not really a logical guess.
Yeah.
I guess B. I'd go with B if I had to. I think A is, yeah, you got it. $42,000 cost of living for a family of 4.
Because you're still in the 2000s. I mean, we're coming
So-
up little by little, but
Yeah, and so as we talk through that, if we compare that out to what was the wage increase? What was that? Do you remember that one, Cole, from the nurse's wage? What was the starting date of that? Was that 2014 to 2023? 05. It was a 5. Yeah, and I apologize, everyone, if you're just listening on the podcast and not watching. I didn't read all the multiple choice questions that we're looking at, so I apologize that we could have done a better job on the podcast on that. But hopefully you've been watching, and I can cue in there to where, so $42,000, so that's about $21,000 increase since 2002. All well, that particular profession saw a wage increase of 15. But that was from 2005, not 2002.
right.
So there's probably a lot more stuff you can Google and read on this, but they're moving together, just at different rates.
Yeah, they're all been relatively close to one another.
Yeah,
in terms of like percentages, right? On average.
Yeah, and I think you and I were talking.
Even off a little bit, but still close.
Did I give you your points on this one already?
I don't think so.
Yeah, really?
I don't think so. Cole?
I don't know. At this point, I'm buried, I think. Yeah.
There's still a
no.
500 in there. If you want
I
every
coulda-
one of them right now, I'm pretty sure you.
No. If you really want, I don't know. We'll run with the board as it is. But yeah, what I say is just like the relativity, right? Is like when you watched a movie 20 years ago, and it was like, oh my gosh, they're talking about, some artist becomes a millionaire, but how many millionaires like live in Ponderosa Trails?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
From a standpoint of equity and from a
Yeah.
standpoint of like, so if you,
you could measure millionaires differently. It depends on what we're talking about. Right?
Sure,
your
but
assets or your
Sure.
right.
Sure. There's different, but as far as saying like, if we just said straight net worth, on saying, how many people have over $500,000 equity in their home here in Flagstaff,
Right.
and have between like household have $500,000 in retirement savings, checking, market funds, etc., and then vehicle equity or whatever, like true net worth, like it's huge.
Yeah, I agree.
There's this joke. Who makes this joke? It's a Chris Rock. I think it's a Chris Rock joke where he talks about how he's like done all this stuff and like is this famous guy, and he moves into the neighborhood and gets into like the hood that he wants to be in, and he's like, here I am. It's like this awesome, like one of the best at what I do. And he's like, do you know who my neighbors are? Like, they're dentists. They're white dentists. Like, and so it's just kind of this thing of like, it just, anyways. So you talk about like, yeah, people are making
I'm
more
gonna
money.
YouTube that one.
It's
I love
a
Chris
good
Rock.
one. It's a good one. Okay. All right.
It's in my court, right?
Yeah, it's your court.
Okay. First world problems for 500. I'm grabbing the shovel.
Current average cost of a new car in 2023 is $48,000. What was it in 1985? I'm gonna go with. Shoot,
Oh my gosh.
I gotta say it. So I gotta go with A. I was gonna say C, but I'm gonna go with A.
Yeah, 48. That's the average cost. Okay. Yeah, trucks were a little more back then. 85. I'm gonna go with maybe I like A, but I'll go with B actually.
Oh, and viewers just listening, 7,700, 12,000, 4,200, and 17,000. And which one are you going? You going B?
I'm gonna go with C.
C.
Yeah.
It is A.
Oh,
So
I like it.
7,700, which is a 515% increase from 2085 to 2023. That is wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
That'd be so nice.
And it's not just because they have like Bluetooth and mapping.
No, I like the roll down windows.
There's just the simple
prefer them.
things. The simple things. Oh, yeah. No. And it's like those types of things. Like my kids saw a VHS for the first time, I think, like a week ago.
Oh, that's what you need to do is a podcast with your kids and give them like the rotary phone and then give them like dial up sounds in the background and then have them like decipher all of them. Have you seen those?
No.
They do those videos where like a parent will like put a bunch of
that's hilarious.
Oh yeah, they'll put a bunch of objects in front of them and then they have to like guess the name or guess the reason or guess the purpose of them. It's hilarious.
And I guess that's something to be said for, okay, yeah, inflation is real, but you look at the standard of life.
Yeah.
Like it is
Totally.
pretty wild what we've gotten used to. And just like,
there's a dependency with it though too,
Yeah.
Not to get into all of that, but
yeah. And so that's where you are going to spend more. You are going to spend more. Like, like
Unless
we could go into all the, like,
way.
we should have maybe for next time, like the size of houses back then.
Yeah.
Right. They weren't building like, well, I think probably you gotta be careful with like average and median, but probably like the median size in Flagstaff is probably like 2,300 square feet.
Right.
2 to 2,300.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They were, yeah. Anyways, so there's some justification. Possibly.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Okay. I won that one. Okay. So I'll go first world problems. Try and get myself some. I don't think I give myself the points. I've probably been doing that the whole time. The average movie ticket price in North America in 1997 was $4.59. What is it in 2023? $5.80, $8.75, $15.95, $10.45. Oh man, you got that one?
I'm gonna go with.
I haven't been to the movies in a hot minute.
I mean, not either. Well, Netflix,
Does
I'm gonna go with
Netflix
D.
just subscription count?
I'm gonna go with D.
I was gonna go D.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
probably C. I think you should pick C.
Should I pick? I can't go B. Could I go B?
No, it can't be that cheap.
I'm gonna go with B just because, like, hey, the pandemic and movie sales. Do people really want to sit in the theater? You're right. Okay, from 1997, so 20 years, 127% increase. Okay. I'll give you the points just so you can further bury me here.
As you forget to give yourself points.
So last category, the median household income in Flagstaff in 2023 is $61,026. What was it in 2004? Are we sure on that, Cole?
It's 61.
Not good. You got a guess?
2004. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with A.
What was it in 2004?
But I think Cole's low on that.
Yeah, I thought I had seen something the other day.
I thought it's 86.
Yeah, because what's minimum wage right now? Is it 13?
1680 in Flagstaff.
Oh, because they passed something separately, did they?
Yeah, we're in
For
our own little
minimum
world
wage,
of that.
right.
We're very, let's see.
I like A. Did you pick A?
Yeah.
Fine.
I did grab the bobblehead.
I will pick D then. At least a close second.
A,
yeah,
it
I liked
is.
it for A.
Let's see, in Coconino County. 61,881 or 88. That is a two. So
We might
actually,
need
Cole,
fact checkers to go
careful
after
though. That is as of a, when was the census on that one? I think that's an old census. We'll have to correct that. We'll check that out later. I think that's a 2021 census.
Because you're thinking it's a little bit low for the average.
It's 2022 census.
Really?
Okay.
But average is different than median.
And I'm looking at 2023 area median income limits, so like for income limit programs, which would be 80% of. And it changes on household too. Do you know what they use generically for household? So I'm looking at this, and if it's if we just went with like a household of 4, area median income for on the latest, I'm on like HUD's is like actually 90,000 for a household of 4. And an individual, 500, let's see if I can do math. I really can't do math. Sorry. Actually 63, like that's like an individual.
And that's
one
from
person.
Flagstaff.
And that's Flagstaff.
Okay.
2 people is like 72. It's interesting.
And then the average home sales in Flagstaff is, I think, what did I see it at last time? It was like, what was it, 600?
Yeah. Well, median. I think it was is it average or median? That's the hard part. And that's what I think people need to I say that line so many times. I need to that'd be a drinking game in and of itself. But
drinking water.
Yeah. For people to understand, when we say median, that means that half of the homes sold below that and half are above.
Right.
So I think that number, when people throw that out, and I throw that out all the time casually, like, oh my gosh, this market's expensive. The median house is $600,000, but I have someone under contract under $400,000 right now.
Oh yeah.
In Northern Arizona, and it's not a 10, and so it's like, I think that there's hope. There's hope. I don't know. I get positive on that. Any other takeaways from that game and activity, Shelby? Did you have any other thoughts or takeaways on that?
No, that was really interesting. I had no idea the differences in price points, like on a Big Mac and all these things that I've just kind of existed as they've changed, I always like to think about it as like 1 foot forward, right? It's like,
yeah,
we have to keep going regardless of what's happening, and isn't in the long run going to be good for you. You've got to just keep going forward. And in my mind, it's reinvesting and accepting that things are a little bit different and so on and so forth. But yeah, no, and even there's outer areas, even outside of Flagstaff too, and they may not be everybody's cup of tea, right? But to go from Flagstaff and say, oh, well, price point is like really dominant for me. That's like a number one, top of my list. It isn't my bedrooms, isn't my how the land is spread or where the garage is or whatever, right? Or what car garage I have. You've got Parks, you've got Williams, you've got Prescott, you've got Prescott Valley, you've got the whole run of this northern Arizona area, which I feel like is just a whole drive to our area anyways, that you can go in any direction in very limited amount of time and still work at Gore, right?
Yeah.
Still work at some areas. And so price point varies. And so you can go into Williams and we're still selling, in my opinion, affordable housing in comparison.
Well, in comparison.
Yeah. In comparison.
And I'd agree.
And that's not for everybody to drive, say, 30 minutes or something. But I always give everyone that like spread of, or you could just be really patient. And if we are consistent, just like you said, we're still selling homes for 400. So they're out there. It's not a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I think the same thing is like, you can't look in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Right. And looking at what things were, it's a matter of like, what is it? And what is your situation?
Right.
And are you still paying rent right now? Because if you're not owning, you're paying for some housing, because we really do like indoor living.
Right.
The majority of us here. And so
nowadays everyone's we're gonna glamp it.
Van life's not what it used to be. It's not the Chris Farley van down by the river.
No
that
kidding.
Mercedes Sprinter is costing you at least 6 figures.
Still my favorite.
Yeah.
Chris Farley.
Yeah. And so, no, it's a different time. But yeah, I think people need to understand they're unique. What is their opportunity? What's their opportunity cost? And not focus on the past.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
Look forward.
I
Cool.
agree.
Well, thank you, Shelbi, for joining us.
Something here.
Oh, exactly. Hope everyone enjoyed. Give Shelbi a call for your Northern Arizona real estate needs. And thank you for coming.
Thank you, guys. It was fun.